Today I'm going to teach you how to graph using slope-intercept form. It's the easiest way to graph because you use your starting point, which is your B, and then you use your rise over run, and you don't have to do anything else. So here we go. At the top of your notes, I want you to write y equals mx plus b, and we have gone over this multiple times. The m is the what? The slope. The b is the y-intercept. All right, when we're talking about slope on graphs, how did we learn to find the slope? Rise over run. And the b is the y-intercept, which is your starting point. And it's where it touches the y-axis. So it's your starting point on the y-axis. So if I ever ask you to graph an equation using the slope and the y-intercept, the first thing you have to do is find the slope and the y-intercept. So let's look at example, this one right here. So this first part just says identify the slope and y-intercept. So look at the first one, y equals 3x plus 4. The first thing, is it in slope-intercept form? Yes, so the number that's attached to the x is the slope. So it is 3. But if I asked you to write it as a rise over run, what would you put? 3 over 1. Because 3 divided by 1 is really just 3. All right, what is the y-intercept? 4. I don't have everybody writing. All right, look at the next one. If I asked you to identify the slope and y-intercept, could you do it since it's looking like this? No, it must be in what? Slope-intercept form. So I would need to get the y by itself and move the 3x. So how would I move the 3x? So I have y equals negative 3x plus 2. Now is it in y-intercept form? Yes. So what is the slope? Very good. Negative 3 over 1. Now, if I wanted that simplified, I would just want you to put negative 3. But we're graphing with it, so we need a rise and a run. So we're definitely needing two numbers. So that's why we're putting that 1. What is the y-intercept? 2. All right, let's do this last one. Is this in slope-intercept form? No. What form is this in? I taught you last week. It starts with an S. Standard. It's in standard form. All right, here we go. So what do I have to do to move the 4x? So I have negative 2y equals, and it's going to be negative 4x plus 20. Now is it in slope-intercept form? I have to get y by itself. So the answer is no, it is not in slope-intercept form. I have to get rid of the negative 2 by dividing everything by negative 2. So I have y equals negative 4 divided by negative 2 is positive 2x minus 20 divided by negative 2 is 10. So minus 10 or plus negative 10. So what is the slope? 2 over 1. What is the y-intercept? Do not say 10.
Negative 10.
It has a negative value, negative 10. All right. Now that we know the slope and the y-intercept, we can graph with that. So let's go do our first example, actually graphing. So look at the first example. What is the slope? So my slope is 5 over 1. What is the y-intercept? Do not tell me positive 3. This minus, guys, I shouldn't have people on watches or phones. Everybody should be paying attention. This minus gives this 3 a negative value. So negative 3. You are going to put your first dot on the y-axis at the y-intercept. So where would that go? I'm going to go on the y-axis to negative 3. So here's 0, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put a dot because that is the y-intercept. That's why we call it the starting point, because it's just easy to go straight there. Now I'm going to rise up or down. Up 5 because it's positive, and then I'm going to run 1 to the right. And I'm going to put a dot. So up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right 1. Can I do it again? Up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right 1. You need at least 3 dots on your graph. The only time I will accept 2 dots is if the graph, it just won't fit on there, like, so then you can only do 2. But you have to have at least 2. I want 3. The more dots you put, the more accurate your line is, yes? So can somebody tell me, could I also have put some dots down here? So instead of going up and right, I would go, because 2 negatives make a, so I could go down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and left 1, and you'll notice that that falls on the same line. All right, and then you simply draw a line through it. What do y'all think? Easy? All right, look at this next one. Can I identify the slope and y-intercept the way it looks? No. What do I have to do to it? I have to solve for. So how am I going to move this 3x? So I have negative 3y equals negative 3x plus 12. Is it good now? No. No, because I have to get the y by itself by dividing everything by negative 3. So I have y equals negative 3 divided by negative 3 is 1. 1x plus 12 divided by negative 3 is? All right, so I have 1x minus 4 or 1x plus negative 4, whichever way you want to say it. So what is my slope? 1 over 1. What is my y-intercept?
Negative 4.
All right, so where do I start? So I go to the y-axis and find negative 4. Then I'm going to rise up 1 because it's positive, and I'm going to run right 1. I mean, I could do this, like, I could put as many dots as I want. Could I also go down and left?
Yes.
Why can I go down and left? Because down is negative, left is negative, and 2 negatives make a? So I could go down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1. I could do this against the whole graph. But how many points do you need? 3. All right, do we need to do any of those? Any more? Okay, we're going to skip these 2 then because y'all know how to do a slope and y-intercept. Now we're going to graph parallel lines. How do you know if lines are parallel? They're never going to touch, but like if I gave you these equations like this, how would you know that they're parallel? We've talked about this. If their slopes are the same. Okay, so right now, this one looks good, yes? Does this one look good? So I got to go solve for y. How am I going to get rid of 2? Divide everything by 2. So I have y equals 4 divided by 2 is 2x plus 6 divided by 2 is 3. So again, how do I know that this, when I graph it, is going to be parallel to this? Because their slopes are the same. So I know that they're parallel because their slopes are the same. Now, here's a little problem. Let's change it because right now they're the exact same line. So let's pretend that this was an 8. And 8 divided by 2 is what? Because I want them to actually be parallel and not the same line. Yeah, let's make it like that. Now they'll be parallel. All right, let's graph this one first. So I'm going to start on the y-axis at 1, 2, 3. Now I need a rise over run. So up 2, right 1. Up 1, 2, right 1. 1, 2, 1. Is that enough dots? Sure. All right, let's graph the other one. Where's my starting point for this one? At 4 instead of 3. My slope is the same. Up to right 1, up to right 1, up to right 1. Will these lines ever touch? Because they're parallel. Their slopes are the same. All right, go do the next one. Y'all want to try it on your own? Okay, so let's talk about this one. If my y-intercept is 8, can I rise 4 and run 1 and stay on the graph?
No.
So instead of going up and right, I'm going to need to go down and left. So I'm going to go down and left because 2 negatives make a... All right, so down 4, left 1. My next one, my starting point is 5. Could this one I have gone up 4 and right 1? Yeah. Or I could go down 4. Left 1. Are these parallel? Why are they parallel? Because their slopes are the same. All right, let's flip to the back and look at a word problem. They gave you 2 equations. What can y'all tell me about these equations just looking at them? So they're going to be what kind of lines? They are going to be parallel lines. All right? So I want you to graph these. So what's my starting point? What's my rise? What's my run? 1. So I'm going to start at 300. I'm going to rise. What are they counting by? So when I rise 150, I'm going to go 1 spot and then halfway more. So here's 100. Here's 300. Go up 100 and then up 50 more. There's 150. And to the right, 1. Do y'all understand how that works? You're rising 150. So here's 50. Here's another 100. Right 1. All right, that's enough. All right, let's do the next one. What's my starting point? And what's my rise? What's my run? So I start at 400. I go up 150, right 1. up 150, right 1. Let's look at the question. It says, based on the graphs, what is the difference of the cost to produce each commercial and air it 2 times? So if I go to 2, how much does it cost for this one? Okay. What is the cost for this one for 2 commercials? So what is the difference? This answer would be $100 difference. What is the difference to do 4 commercials? So let's go look at 4 commercials for this one. Where am I at? 900. Okay, let's go to this one for 4 commercials. Where am I at? 1,000. So what's the difference? $100. What do you notice about the difference in cost? It's always 100 because their slopes are their difference will always be the same as well. These are parallel lines because their slopes are the same. Okay, so look at 1 through 6. Identify the. So you have how many answers? So I want you to put M equals, because M is slope, and B equals, because B is y-intercept. So I'm going to do number 1 with you. I always start with the y-intercept. So everybody look at the y-axis. Where is it touching the y-axis? No, don't put the equation. Just put the slope in the y-intercept. Okay, and then the M, what's the rise? 2, what's the run? So if you put 2 over 1, I will take it. Because we are talking about rise and run. Is it positive slope or negative slope? All right, go down to 7 through 12. Identify the slope and y-intercept. So you've got to make sure they're in y equals mx plus b form. Everybody look at number 10. What's the slope? Okay, what's the y-intercept? So you get to make it up? You don't get to make it up. So if nothing's there, what is it? 0. That means you would start at 0 on that type of graph. Does that make sense? Number 13 through 18 wants you to graph the equation. I want at least 3 points. Except number 18, only 2 points will fit. To do this, it will help you to have a slope and y-intercept. So let's look at number 18. I need a slope. I need a y-intercept. What is the y-intercept if there's nothing there? 0. What is the slope? 6 over 1. So I go to 0, I put a dot. I'm going to rise up 6 and right 1. Do you see why only I can put 2 dots on that one? That's all that will fit. And I must connect my dots. Okay, flip to the back. Same thing back here. 25 and 26. Tell whether they are what? How do you know if they're parallel? You see if the slopes are the same. Then number 27, they're going to give you 2 equations. They give you this equation, and it asks you to do what to it? Then they say, suppose you change the equation to this. And then they say to do what? So you're going to have 2 graphs, 2 lines on here. Then it wants you to answer the question, how much more does it cost for 6 hours? So you can use your graph to answer that question. Make sense? Get busy.